join us this week as we head east all the way to Prague for New Year's Eve in our 350 quid Toyota.
Woo!
Wish us luck.
Did someone say beer spa?
Cool, 10:50 on time. Breakfast. So we've gone for the Eurotunnel this time. Normally we go on the ferry because the ferry's normally a load cheaper, but when we booked this it's only 30-40 quid more.
I thought it was less than that.
So what a treat. Absolute treat, eh?
Ooh.
Downstairs. So this train takes us to Calais, 30 miles under the
sea.
British Channel, and then from Calais we've got a 2.5 hour drive roughly up to Antwerp in Belgium for the night.
Gonna go get a tram into the town and have some fries. We left Belgium,
Always a pleasure, Belgium.
drove through the Netherlands, and 8 hours later we arrived in Germany.
So we're only 2.5 hours out of Prague now, but we're going to take a little bit of a scenic route to... It's like a lovely archway.
It might be a hike though, so in which case I haven't come prepared and I've only got white trainers, so we won't be doing that. But can we appreciate all the leopard print I've got going on here? Pretzel!
Bakery stop. We're just going to fire the drone up. Someone hasn't brought any right shoes.
What are we doing?
One word.
We're going to Prague!
2 words.
One more word.
Good morning from Prague. So we checked in yesterday fine, but I think 3 days on the road caught up with us because we went out for a nice meal actually, a couple beers, and then came back and just slept. Today though, which is rather exciting, we are going to a beer spa.
We are going to a beer spa!
We took the tram into the centre for a stroll along Charles Bridge and a much needed coffee. Before heading to the beer spa, we thought we'd line our stomachs at Vicep, a gem of a restaurant slash bar that Danny booked. We tried elevated classic Czech cuisine including smoked carp and deer broth, not forgetting the best schnitzel we've ever eaten.
That was amazing. That's definitely one of my top meals of my life, to be fair, and I've only had one beer, so that's not just a drink talking. Really beautiful flavours, would recommend. You can go in there just for a pint as well, but you'll definitely get tempted for the food. Did someone say beer spa?
So we booked a room for 2 hours. It's quite expensive. It's like, what, 200 quid?
I think it was.
£100 out. You'd have to drink 100 beers for it to pay for itself. But when in Rome. We've got a tub each. I don't know if you really like. It's not entirely made of beer, which is nice. I thought it was a bit of a waste. It's part beer, part hot water, and some hops and some yeast or barley. Yeast. And then once we're done in there, we can chill out on the straw bed, just like being back in Somerset. I've got a feeling we're going to deteriorate rather quickly. We drank them dry of the pale already. Whoops, Brits abroad.
How was your tub?
That's nice.
You look naked. Is that not itchy?
It's so itchy. Somehow 2 hours is up and we're on our way. Do your skin feel good?
Yeah.
My skin feels incredible.
Yeah, I had a great time in the beer spa, not actually that drunk, which is good. Yeah, 2 hours maybe a little bit long, but I thought an hour wouldn't be long enough. But yeah, it's a good time. You had a good time?
Lovely. So we came to Lab. Can I have this?
Yeah.
Can I have this? So we come to Locale, fully booked out, as expected to be fair. 2 mains, 2 beers, 18 quid. Bargain.
Can't beat the value. It's very long. You've actually drank it all. After dinner, we took a merry stroll through the Christmas market where we ate our first chimney cake. So this is the first time we had, it's a chimney cake, I don't know how you pronounce it in Czech. But it's actually a lot harder than I thought. They're not from Czech, they're from, Joe thinks Austria, I think Romania, we'll have to fact check that, but it's got cinnamon on the outside. We went for Nutella in the middle. I think classic is just on its own, but it's really good. Joe still had room for a hot dog and then called it a night.
Danni Joe, good night. Feeling surprisingly fresh today, considering we had 1 or 2 when we got back.
I had one, I felt really bloated, so I couldn't drink anymore. But we went to this really cute bar, the last one, and it was £1.36 for a pint. Can you believe it?
How could you not? Went into the toilet and I went, oh.
Don't mind if I do, actually.
So today we've got our first of 3 brewery tours on this trip. We're going to Staropramen, I can never pronounce it. It's the biggest in Prague itself.
Yep.
Yeah, got that right. And then
What do you know about that?
Yeah, it's the biggest in Prague.
Okay.
Not the biggest in Czech. I don't know what the biggest is in Czech. Frog. And then we're taking a trip down to Pilsen over the next couple of days, which is the home of Pilsner beer.
Yep.
We're going to Pilsner Urquell Brewery, and then we're heading back east a bit to Budvar.
It's New Year's Eve today, by the way, so we're not too sure what's open. We're not sure what we're going to do this evening, just go with the flow. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, which obviously in most places things shut a little bit earlier, but it's also the Velvet Divorce, which is the 30th anniversary of the split of Czechoslovakia, which then had the 2 countries. So there's obviously lots of flags up, which I've been reading into. That's actually why they're up, not so much because of New Year or anything. And I think they're announcing a new tram, and also lots of the buildings are going to be lit up in Czech colours, so maybe we'll see them tomorrow.
better than a beer tour. Beer tour on New Year's Eve in Prague with my wife.
Before we go in, what's your Czech facts? I haven't asked you yet.
I forgot. Home of Skoda.
Yeah.
As we probably know by now.
I didn't know that until this trip.
What else do we say?
Per capita,
Oh, largest beer drinkers by capita in the world.
like by quite a bit.
143 litres a year, and they're like 40 litres above anyone else.
Any other facts?
That's all that matters, isn't it? Cars and beer. So excited. We've been on a fair share of brewery tours, and I hate to say it, but Strathman was slightly underwhelming. They direct your attention to pre-recorded videos on large screens. It definitely lacked the presence of a human guide. The 6 samples did help though. The foundation of any good night out is a kebab.
Oh god.
A good kebab.
It's midday. I wouldn't normally have a kebab at this time, but it's the same. Oh, I've got hiccups. It's the same sort of kebab as we had in Berlin, and I can't remember what it translates to, but I think it's like veg kebab and it has like feta in it and it tastes really good.
Well, Prague, you've been amazing.
We had the best time. New Year's, we spent it on Charles Bridge, watching the fireworks. Everyone had fireworks, like just there was no official display. Everyone just had them and was just holding them in their hands and shooting them. The first one we saw was some German couple or like some friend, and he like shot it in and it just went under a taxi. I was like, wow. This is great. But yeah, it was really nice, and we went to try and get in a club. We didn't have enough money, which is probably a good thing, so then we came back. And then yesterday was New Year's Day. We
dotted about a bit, didn't we?
Yeah.
I went to the cathedral, the castle was open.
Yeah.
It's like free entry because of the New Year's Day, so we had a look around there. It was gorgeous.
Yeah,
so
beautiful. Nice. Really, the stained glass is like something I've never seen before. Like so intricate. Yeah, really stunning.
And today we're heading to Pilsen, which is the home of Pilsner beer. One brewery tour there overnight, and then we've got a brewery tour the next day as well.
Whilst en route to Pilsen, I noticed our Karsten Castle saved on Google Maps, so we stopped off to admire it in all its beauty. Unfortunately, we didn't go inside, but there's always next time. We made it to Pilsner. We also we made it to Pilsen. We also went into a Tesco, which I found highly amusing because it's all the same signs, just in Czech. But we're about to go into the brewery.
Pilsner Urquell Brewery.
Yeah.
We had a fun old trip on the way over. Literally about 10 minutes outside of Prague, someone pulled out almost directly in front of us and like sideswiped us. I swear it always happens whenever we go away. Luckily we had dash cam and no one actually hit us, but shook us up for a little bit. Oh my god. Right, we'll try and find a way in here in a minute. The brewery was opened in 1842 and invented lager as we know it today. The recipe remains unchanged, and this beer style now makes up 90% of the world's beer sales. We were able to tour the original lager cellars and drink straight from the tank, unfiltered and unpasteurised. Definitely one of the best beer tours we've ever been on, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
That was good.
Now what are we doing?
Pint. So we have just left Pilsen, which is quite a cool little town. Could do with a couple extra nights there. We are heading to Budvar, now the town or city of Budvar, for our third and final beer tour. We'll probably save the best till last, hopefully, in terms of my favourite beer at least.
I think the
tour yesterday was the best, yeah, for sure, but the actual beer, we'll tell you a bit more about it when we get there. But I'm hella excited.
So we have just stopped off in a random place, don't even know where we are, somewhere between Pilsner and Budvar. Is that right? Budvar's a beer. And there's these mushrooms in the forest. And as you can see, there's a massive fly agarics behind us. I think it's showing you all the different habitats in which the mushrooms grow. And there's a penny bun down there, which is amazing. I'll show you in a minute.
Just arrived at my favourite brewery in Prague, so far at least anyway. The reason I love this brewery so much, there's a bit of a David and Goliath going on between this Budvar in Budweiser versus Budweiser from St. Louis in America. I'll let you decide which one sued which. Essentially, I think they've left it at a bit of a truce where Budvar here has got a license in Europe mostly, and Budweiser America has got the license there. We had time for a quick pint and learnt that this is the only state-owned brewery here in the Czech Republic. To say I was excited for this tour is an understatement, and it wasn't long before we had another golden pint in our hands, this time straight from the tank.
Right. So,
This is the malt transport into the factory. I don't know if you can hear me, probably not, but Joe says a lot of these jobs would have been done by hand, which makes sense. I can't even begin to imagine the machines that are made, but it reminds me of Charlie and Chocolate Factory and a dad, and he loses his job because he couldn't put the toothpaste on the top because a machine does it now.
That was a cracking tour, probably the best yet, would you say? I say yeah. Most intimate. It's only 6 couples on the tour compared to like 40 people yesterday. The tour's half the price too. It'd be rude not to go and have a couple more pints now, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
So we're going to head to, they've got a tap room here and they've got 3 pubs in Budweiser. And that concludes our mini tour of the Czech Republic. Now we've just got a 800 or 900 mile drive home.
I'll be napping. Yeah, is that recording?
Half an hour to go.
Vignette.
Vignette. Vignette. Vignette. Vignette. Vignette.
Huh?
Vignette.
Vignette.
Vignette. Vignette.
Vignette.
Ein Vignate!
Ready.
Joe going on lunch.
Look at your face. Finish eating in a minute.
Joe going on lunch.
No way. Finish. You look like a hamster.